Okay, hopefully the mic is still working. Looks like it's picking up the transmission. Sorry about that. Everybody wants to look at an old dude's hairy chest. So anyways, next product. I'm gonna flip this sucker around. We're gonna jump right in.
I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we can hang out or something. Hey, I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we can hang out or something.
Okay. Next product is a black bag. Actually, it is a product that I'm sure you guys, you've seen it on video. Survival shovel, Tyger. And I bought this used on Facebook Marketplace. I believe it's missing a piece, but I'm not for sure. Maybe not. Let's open this sucker up. So, when you buy one of these things, one of the biggest parts of the whole presentation is how rugged and how usable and how many different uses there are, interchangeability, blah, 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 blah. So, in the container, now one of the things that I would like to point out is this is all high quality, heavy gauge machined aluminum. Now, since I bought this used, I don't have the manual for it. But I don't know if it's picking it up on the camera or not, but this is like a dark, anodized dark green. Okay, it's not shiny, it's kind of a flat anodization. The knurling on the handle is not rough, it's not hard on the hands. The threads on it are exceptional, okay, very well cut. It's got an O-ring seal, and it's a hefty chunk of aluminum right there, just this one piece. So inside there's others. This obviously, because it's got the handle on it with the lanyard, this would be the top. Okay, we'll go through all these individually. And then it's got a belt. You can hang it off your belt. You can hang it off your shoulder. You can mount things to the side of it. I think they kind of went out of their way to make this as usable as possible. Now, the reason that I was thinking that I might not have gotten all the parts is that there's an additional tube here. And what I'm coming to believe, based on the size of this when it's put together, that there may not be anything missing. They may be using the same exact bag, pouch, for the walking stick. You know, the one where they're busting crap in half with the walking stick. Which, based on this thing right here, I kind of believe. So, it's got a pouch here that you slide the shovel with the protective cover on in here, and it sets down in here. It's got two pouches for implements, and then in the back it's got two more pouches, and it's got room for other stuff in there. So I'm thinking this is a multi-use bag, and I'm not missing parts. So I'm gonna set this up here out of the way, and I'll go through them. The first thing that you're gonna see is that you have a Phillips and standard head screwdriver. Okay, again, this is a survival type tool. So is it something that you would use every day? No, it's kind of heavy and kind of big grip, but to open something that you with a Phillips head screwdriver or a standard blade screwdriver is more than sufficient. And I believe I've seen these bits. These are just standard bits with other types of drivers that you could probably add additional ones if you wanted to, just to have them in the bag. So that's item number one. Again, very well made threads, very well cut, O-ring, and a very, very good machine knurled finish for that part. then there's this part, and this one I believe is so that you can use to dig or to claw or to stab into stuff to pry with. This is a pretty serious looking piece of equipment right there. And again, this piece is got the heavy threading, and the threads, by the way, I keep coming back to the threads. The threads are a larger thread, so it's easier to put these things together and take them apart. It does take multiple turns to get them together, but it is what it is. So this one, I believe that you would have your options. Obviously, the shovel point is going to be at one end. This is going to be at the other. This is the end of the handle. You know, there's a lanyard, all that stuff on it. This has got a knife edge. It's not super sharp, but it'll get it done. It's got a saw blade, bottle opener, and a pry, like a nail prier or staple puller. So this is going to be at one end. The shovel is going to be at the other. So one other thing is you can open up the butt end of it. Look around the corner, see if this is showing. And you probably don't want to do that with your finger in the lanyard. And you have flint. Okay, so now you also have the ability to create fire. Obviously not the way I'm doing it. Okay, so it's also got a little tie point here. I don't know exactly what you'd want that for. Maybe so that you could just have that out on its own on a lanyard and screw something else in there. Oh, and it's also got an emergency whistle, which surprisingly is annoying as hell. So screw that back together. Screw that back into the butt. And again, I'm going to unscrew it here. It's got an O-ring seal, okay? And it's, I mean, the knurling, everything is just, it's as close to the perfect way of doing it as I believe that you could get. Again, these two pieces are interchangeable, which one you want to go on next. They all fit right inside each other. And you tighten it down, and you can feel the O-ring reveal it's there when you start screwing it in. That's actually the first time I ever had it even feel like it was going to cross thread. It didn't, but it felt like it. So at this point right here, you know, you've got that digging or trying to pry something out of the ground, dirt or whatever. That's a serious piece of equipment right there. I don't think I'd want to get stuck with that. But it's also, you know, long enough at this point without engaging the shovel head that you can get somebody's attention in a hurry with that. Okay? So since this is a survival shovel, you might as well, and again, you can feel the O-ring engage. Let's get back into what the basis of this whole thing is. And you have the shovel. And one of the things that I don't know if the camera's picking up, is the shovel does have an edge on it. It's not a razor edge. I'm imagining that based on the metal and the thickness of it, that you could probably put a much sharper edge on here, on the points, and on this edge here. There's a shovel or a saw, so that you can use it as a saw to branches, whatever. There's a tape measure. I don't know if you can see it there, the measurement in centimeters there. Okay. The shovel itself, the blade is dimpled so that it would give it a little bit more rigidity, so that if you're prying on something, you're not going to fold or buckle the blade. All put together well. To open it, you simply pull down on this, and it's in multi-position. You can have it like that so that you could use it for climbing or for hooking on something. so that you could maybe dangle a light off the lanyard from a branch or something like that, so it's not fully open, fully engaged. You can do it like that, so it acts as a hoe. Not a 304 hoe, but a regular hoe or a trencher. You can use it to cut through vines and roots and stuff like that in this position, okay? Or you fully deploy it, and now you have your little standard, for lack of a better term, entrenching tool, okay? Survival shovel. And I imagine, while I've never seen anybody, and I'm definitely not encouraging anybody to, this would jack somebody's clock up right now. You'd get their immediate attention if you bash them up across the face broadways, or you'd probably take their head off their shoulders if you did it sideways. You could probably do it as a spear, in a self-defense situation, you know, close quarter combat, which I would not want to be involved with, and I would not want to be involved with somebody swinging one of these suckers around. Gives you a little longer reach here to get tree branches higher up in the tree. Say you need to clear some things. It looks like these would be little points here that you could engage staples or whatever for like cattle fence or something like that. If you're trying to cross it and you barbed wire and you just want to pull the staples out just to drop the fence, get over and put it back. All heavy duty. This right here, I haven't weighed it, but I've got to say this thing's every bit of 5-6 pounds. Okay, it's not a light throwaway piece of aluminum crap. This is a highly well thought out, well laid out, well constructed, heavily constructed shovel, collapsible shovel to get you out of trouble. I mean, let's face it. There'll be times when it's not something as lethal as wanting, you know, to do damage to somebody. Maybe you need a shovel to dig something out, you know, and that's all you want to use it for. Well, this will get you there. I promise you that. Again, it's a multiple position on the blade. It's spring loaded. And locks into place. It's the piece that fits into the groove on the shovel is actually a little bit larger than the groove in the shovel. So it would take some doing and a lot of use to get this point where it was rattling and making noise. Very low noise efficient on it, and I think it's my watch that's making the noise actually. So Tyger, I don't know what model it is. Again, I bought it used on Marketplace, and it's if you happen to see the ad for these, I think they're like anywhere from $75 to $110, and I think they run specials like get 2 for $10. I don't know. Whatever the pricing is on it though, I would highly recommend it. It is a really, really high quality, well put together piece of kit, and you can either, like I said, you can sling it across your shoulder, you can strap it to a backpack. There's multiple ways that you can drag that thing around and deploy it, and I highly recommend it. Okay, so this is you know, so that you can get a sense of scale. Right outside my head there. It's a fairly large spade. You get bapped across the face with that, they're going to get your attention right now. You're going to get their attention. Let me get a tape measure and see how long the handle is. Fully open from point to the end of the handle. That may be something that you'd be interested in. It never really crossed my mind. So it is from tip to the butt end 37 inches long. So just an inch over 3 feet long. It gets it down to where you can use it kneeling, but you can also, you're not going to kill your spine trying to use it standing up either. So, Tyger trenching tool. And I believe they've got walking sticks as well. Highly recommend it. I think I paid 25 bucks on Facebook Marketplace for this. Yeah, it's worth every bit of that. It's probably worth every bit of 100 bucks. Well, if you need one and you don't have one, it's worth everything you got if you need one and don't have it. Just to be prepared, and you've got the extra money laying around, this right here, do it. So do me a favor, wrap up the video, let you know I'm trying to get this thing going again. I haven't been stopping and starting. I just have so many different things going on that I kind of took a step back, and now I'm trying to catch up with some of the product demos, if you will. Give me a like, consider subscribing, sharing. I'd appreciate it. And if you don't like it, just hit that don't dislike button twice, and I'll give you your money back, everything you paid. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great one.